Hey, my feel good friend, and welcome to mini-sode 37 of the Feel Good Social podcast. I'm so happy to be in your earbuds as always. And today's topic is a little bit different. Normally in these mini-sodes, I try to dish up super actionable tips that you can take and implement in your brand's content marketing strategy this week kind of thing, right? But this week's episode is actually a little different. It's more just generally talking about a topic that fires me up a little bit. So we might get a little sassy in this episode, if we're honest. And I hope that instead of, giving you super actionable tips, concrete tips that you can implement this week, you can instead take the information that I provide in this episode and just maybe shift your mindset a little bit. I hope that the information we talk about in this episode is going to help make your content creation process a little bit easier, a little bit less like stress-filled, less pressurized, right? So that you can show up and create content from a place of joy that feels more authentic to you and really recenter yourself when it comes to posting on Instagram in who your brand is, who you're helping, and why you're showing up on there, right? So if you didn't catch it from the title of this episode, this week we are talking about why you should really stop caring about the algorithm so much. And I'm also going to be sharing what you need to be caring about instead of trying to please the algorithm all the time. Okay. So, like I said, we are going to be getting a little bit sassy in this episode. I do have Brett and I went and bought Topo Chico margarita wine cooler things. We're trying them out. He doesn't like them. He thinks they taste like fake sugar, but hey, I'll drink them. And I have one of those right now. So we are fired up, feeling a little spicy with the Topo Chico margarita. And I am super, super excited to talk about the algorithm because it's something that really literally, I care about you not caring about the algorithm so much, my friend. And I hope that I get you to hop on my non-trend train in this episode. Let's do it. Hey, friend, and welcome to the Feel Good Social Podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and I'm here to help you market your business in a genuine way that works without wasting your precious time. On this show, we chat about social media strategy and mindset tips with a focus on, you guessed it, feeling good. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some genuine conversation for the good of your biz. So as per usual with the mini-sode, I'm going to try to talk super quickly and I'm going to try to make it through all of these bullet points that I have listed in my notes as to why you shouldn't care about the algorithm so much in a timely manner, right? We will see if it happens, my friend, but I hope that either way you really enjoy this episode and I hope that helps to shift your mindset a little bit. So when it comes to stopping caring about the algorithm so much, my first arguing point here, my friend, is that the algorithm is not something that we can really control. Okay. When it comes to any social media platform online, they all are kind of like run by an algorithm, a mathematical equation that's not human and doesn't have opinions, right? But it's basically whatever the people who created the software, they create an equation that kind of sifts through all of the content on the platform and decides what is the most valuable content that people are creating within these different topics, right? And who that is using the platform cares about these topics. Like what content is the most valuable and who should we show it to? Who cares about those topics, right? That's basically what any algorithm is doing for you. And we can't really control what the algorithm does. There are certain things that we can do on any social media platform that persuades the algorithm to think, ooh, this content is valuable. I should show it to this sort of person, right? We can do certain things to try to persuade the algorithm to boost our content more so to reach the right people for our brands, but we don't really have any control over it in reality. Like we kind of put posts out there, try to do our best, and then hope that the algorithm picks it up and runs with it. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because as a self-proclaimed, somewhat control freak. I'm not necessarily a control freak, but I do love putting my time, energy, resources, money into actions that I know are going to give me ROI, right? I don't like spending brain power, money, energy on things that I can't necessarily control as much, right? I like to understand them. I like to try to work with the algorithm, but I'm not going to put all my money and my bank in the algorithm. It's like caring about this boy that I want to like me that's like probably never going to like me. It's just like causes heartbreak. That's what the algorithm does to you. So that is the one thing that I want to say. Firstly, when it comes to stopping caring about the algorithm so much, like it's a good idea to try to work with the algorithm as much as possible, but don't make pleasing the algorithm your end goal. Don't make that what is going to mean success to you, right? Because it doesn't. It really doesn't mean success. And here's the other thing. I spend most of my time and energy on Instagram, if we're honest, with my content marketing. And in the past 2.5 months, I have really, really been trying to create lots and lots of reels on Instagram. And I've really been trying to pay attention to the analytics and the insights, the general vibe. I've been paying attention to the type of content I'm creating. I've been looking at different various accounts, right? I have lots of different clients, and I've just been paying attention to my friends' accounts and people in my community to see, does a certain type of audience like a certain type of reel better? Or like maybe posting in a certain time of day and like all that different stuff. Like I've been trying to pay attention to it all, right? For the past 2 months. And I'm here to tell you right now that there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to a lot of it. And you will hear a lot of quote unquote social media and Instagram experts online shouting at you about the algorithm likes this and doesn't like this, or here's an algorithm hack, or try this trending audio, hop on this Instagram Reels transition trend for more views and blah, blah, blah. Create Reels that are only 1 second long. There's all these things. I was going to say dumb things. We'll just call it that. There's a lot of dumb kind of things online that you will hear quote unquote experts telling you to do to quote unquote hack the algorithm, okay? But there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to it. And honestly, these trends, like some of them work sometimes and some of them don't, Certain accounts will post a certain type of reel one day and it'll do awesome, and they'll post pretty much an identical type of reel the next day and it'll perform pretty bad, I myself have seen success with all different types of reels, and all different types of reels have also flopped for me. Okay. So there's not a lot of rhyme or reason. And honestly, the quote unquote success when it comes to visibility that you might see on Instagram is often up to luck, right? It's kind of hitting all the factors at the right time, hitting the lottery, so to say. And I don't know about you, but I'm not one of those people who plays the lottery. You might have caught on to that in the beginning when I was like, I don't really like spending time and energy and resources, brain power, worrying about things that I can't control. And I don't want you to do that either. Okay. So when it comes to the algorithm, yes, I want to encourage you to try to learn about it and understand it in simple ways. Understand simple tweaks that you might be able to easily do to your content to just maybe boost your performance on the algorithm a little bit. Try to suggest that the algorithm pick up your post and run with it in a bigger way, I guess. I don't know. But don't care about that as much, because that's not what matters as much as other things. Okay. The second reason that you shouldn't care about the algorithm as much is because, oh man, this is the one that fires me up the most, my friend. The algorithm causes people to focus way too much on the vanity metrics and really aim for that ego boost as your success measure, right? For more views, lots of followers, lots of likes, blah, 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 all that stuff. That is the algorithm, and people who talk about the algorithm and talk about caring about the algorithm, they make that ego and vanity metrics the measure of success instead of what really matters, which is focusing on meaningful results that give you sustainable and lasting success. Okay. Here's the thing. The fast track to anything is usually hollow and usually kind of fleeting, right? So this happens the same with like people's Instagram posts that go viral and all that different stuff. Like, sure, maybe 100,000 people viewed your reel, but how many of those people are actual paying customers, people who you can actually help, who will want to buy from you, who want to continue following you, who actually like you can make a difference in their life? And often too, when you get one viral post, it's like one magic moment where you hit it big one time, but then, tomorrow's post kind of flops again or whatever it is. Maybe it lasts for like a couple weeks or something, who knows? But still, anytime you're really focusing on pleasing the algorithm, getting more views, more followers, more likes, boosting that ego of yours and all that different stuff, which I hope that I'm not coming across too strong. My friend, believe me, I have an ego as well. Okay. Do not feel bad for getting your ego boosted when more people like your post and when more people view your reels and all that stuff. I have the same ego. Okay. So there's no shame in that. But when we focus on that and make that the measure of our success, instead of focus on creating meaningful quality content that actually makes like a lasting, memorable imprint in your ideal customers' brains, speaks to them, makes your brand feel more trustworthy to them, makes your brand stand out, makes your brand someone that they want to recommend to their friends and actually buy from for themselves. That is the measure of success. And that is what quality content means and what we need to focus on when it comes to creating your content on social media. Okay. So stop worrying as much about making the algorithm happy. Okay. Stop worrying as much about how many views you get, how many likes you get, how many, all that different stuff you get. It doesn't matter as much. And it's not going to help you see that lasting, sustainable success for your business, which is why you are showing up online. It's only going to boost your ego. It's going to feel hollow looking back, and it's not going to last as long as the other way around. Okay. Like I said, I really do get fired up about this, especially when people start boasting. Like, I don't know. I follow a lot of marketers on Instagram, let's be honest. And a lot of people talk about ways to hack the algorithm. Like I kind of mentioned before, they talk about these trends, this way, that thing. And I don't really care as much about them talking about the hacks and stuff like that. What really fires me up more is when I see my people getting distracted by that and then starting to get like wrapped up in the excitement of that. And oh my gosh, I need to try this trend and I need to hack the algorithm in this way and this matters. But then they start working themselves up into a tizzy about it. It's so easy to get pulled into the algorithm pleasing habits. So what I really want you to do is just try to remember this and catch yourself anytime you hear hack the algorithm in this way. You're like, okay, I can do that hack. Oh, but now I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. Whenever you start to feel overwhelmed and like you're trying to please the algorithm and you're on the content creation hamster wheel, and then you start to think, oh my gosh, why the heck am I even showing up and creating content right now? This sucks. Like I'm not performing very well. Blah, blah. Whenever those terrible thoughts start to snowball in your head, take a deep breath and give yourself a reality check, my friend, because you just got swept up in the algorithm trend train buzz. Okay. And it happens to the best of us. But we just need to bring ourselves home, back to center, back to our brand, back to what is meaningful content for us and why am I showing up right now, right? Honestly, what I will say is that we also really need to redefine what a successful post looks like for us, right? Because with all of my testing with Reels in the past 2.5 months, I have seen lots of different results, and it's kind of confusing as to how you measure success on them, right? Honestly, some of the most viewed Reels that I've created have gotten the least amount of likes and comments. And then alternatively, some of the ones that I've created that have gotten the most likes and like comments from people being like, this is hilarious, this hits home, and all the different stuff have gotten the least amount of views. Okay. So like I said before, like there's really not a lot of rhyme or reason. And I really want you to always be questioning, what is a success measure for me on this post? And what does this mean? And ultimately what I want you to do is like take all of those numbers with a grain of salt, because they're all so random. And really what matters so much is that you're showing up consistently, and the big picture of your content and the big picture results that you're getting, and not those individual success measures. Okay. So honestly, too, when it comes to the followers that I have seen from all of the reels that I've created, I'll be honest. When I started my 30 days of Reels challenge in the beginning of February, I had 2,300 followers, I think. And when I ended my February 30 days of Reels challenge, I had 2,300 followers. I did not see like a giant boost of like followers or anything like that. But through March, I actually did gain 100 followers. And I actually gained more followers than that, but I lost some followers for sure. I don't know, people unfollow you. It's a normal thing. It's fine. But also, I deleted quite a few followers from people who followed me in my March content, because a lot of the followers I noticed from quote unquote viral reels, let's be honest, none of my reels went viral, what I would consider viral, but some of the best performing reels where I got a lot of views, and then I ended up getting a boost of followers, of people following me. A lot of them were non-ideal people. Okay. Like I got a lot of sexy, flexy men following me that are never going to buy from me, that I would immediately delete from my following. And sometimes I would block those people if I'm like, no, you seem like a spammer or a robot, right? Like I block spammers and robots every day, my friend. But long story short, even if like people are like, follow the trends, hack the algorithm in this way to boost your views, to boost your following, all the different stuff, are views from random strangers online really how you measure the success of your posts? Are more followers what you want, even if those followers are sexy, flexy men who are never going to buy from you, who are probably just going to spam you in the DMs anyway? Like, no, that's not how we measure the success of our posts, okay? Remember that the measure of the success on your posts is if they are reaching and speaking to your ideal customers' hearts, changing their minds, getting them to relate to you and your brand and trust you more so, and compelling them to buy from you and recommend you to all their friends, right? That is really what I want you to remember, the ultimate goal of your social media content. So that's what we need to be focusing on, not all those hacks that promise us more views, more followers, especially the ones that are non-ideal, right? Men like flexing in front of sports cars and stuff. That's, by the way, what I call sexy flexy men, right? So yeah, remember to redefine the way you think about successful posts on Instagram, because while the algorithm can aid us in our visibility online, even if we do try to please the algorithm, like the results that we get aren't always the most ideal results anyway. So it doesn't matter that much. Okay, my third and final point when it comes to why you shouldn't care about the algorithm as much is because the algorithm puts added stress and pressure on you to quote unquote do things right. And it really kind of takes the joy and meaning and creativity out of the content you create, right? Which then can turn your brand into kind of a run-of-the-mill, mindless business instead of the unique standout business that I know you are, right? Like, I don't want you to be just like creating the same content as everyone else, following the trends. I don't want you to be caring so much about the algorithm that you're putting so much pressure on yourself to get it right and be perfect that then your content ends up having no personality and doesn't feel authentic and aligned to you, right? Like, no, the algorithm does not dominate that. Like, the algorithm is not your brand. You are your brand, my friend. And you need to understand how the algorithm can help you, but you don't need to work for the algorithm, okay? Because you are what is special about your brand. And the best thing that you can do for your content is create from a place of joy and authenticity and meaning. Okay. I told you I was going to get fired up in this episode, right? Like, seriously, the more meaning, authenticity, joy you can bring to the content that you create for your brand, the more you will stand out online, the better your content will perform. I promise. That is why I gained 100 followers in March, because in February I was putting way too much pressure on myself to create reels and do my 30 days of reels challenge. In March, I continued to create reels. I created like 2 reels a day, 5 days a week. And I didn't give an F about the algorithm anymore. I just created from a place of joy, and I shared my opinions and my quirky, spunky personality. And guess what? I gained more followers and my posts were more successful, I would say, than when I was trying to follow all the rules, follow all the trends, test everything in February, right? And so that is really the secret to how you can actually perform well on the algorithm, I think, is like not giving an F as much about it and instead showing up as your true, genuine self for your brand, right? And creating content from a place of joy, creativity, and meaning, right? Okay, deep breath. Thank you so much for going through me with that rant, my friend. It's something I just had to get off my chest. And I hope that it resonates with you. And I hope that you take away and really, really feel deeply the fact that you don't need to care about the algorithm so much. So, long story short, here are the takeaways, my friend. Create meaningful, joyful, creative, and valuable content that communicates from your brand's beautiful, unique mouth directly to your ideal customers' wanting eyes and ears. I don't know why I put wanting in there. I definitely typed out some notes before this because I was like, you gotta stay on track or else she'll totally go off on side note rants all the time. But seriously, just create meaningful, authentic content that connects and communicates with your ideal customers in a way that it feels authentic to your brand, right? That is what I want you to do. That is what I want you to care about. And that's the meaning of successful content. And it's actually going to help you see better results with Instagram's algorithm, right? And as long as you're doing that, you don't have to care as much about the performance of the algorithm because it will just end up performing. When you show up consistently in that authentic, connective way, I promise that some of your posts will actually end up performing really well. And you'll start to see those results in the number, even though you don't care as much, right? But overall, just redefine what success means for you. It's not performing well on the algorithm. It's connecting with your people online. If you're just showing up and practicing spreading your brand's message, that is a win, okay? Even if no one likes your post, if you're just showing up and practicing, that's a win for you, my friend. If even just one person reads your post and it makes their day or it helps them in some way, that is a win, okay? Even if your post doesn't really go viral or a lot of people don't see it, even if you just help one person, remind yourself, heck yeah, this post was worth it. And also, if you start to receive comments and likes from the same customers over and over who freaking just love your brand and love what you're about, that is the biggest win of all, my friend, even if it's just the same 5 people. And you're like, why am I not getting more following? Why am I not growing? All that different stuff. I don't care. Having just 5 people who continue to comment on your posts and love you and just feel your brand is so successful on Instagram. And I promise that joy and love and connection will start to spread from your brand, from those 5 people and onward and outward, right? So I just had to remind you guys of that because I love you so much and you're doing such a great job, and stop freaking caring about the algorithm as much. It doesn't matter. Your customers matter. Your content matters. Your meaning matters. Your value matters. All those things matter so much more than the freaking algorithm. Okay. So slap it on a Post-it note, put it on your computer, stop caring about the algorithm as much, and give yourself regular reality checks because it is easy to get back into that mindset of, oh my gosh, I got to make the algorithm happy, right? Okay. I'm going to let you go. No clue how long this episode was. Thank you for listening. And I really hope that this helps you in some way. And I hope it resonates with you, my friend. Have a great week. I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for listening, my friend. For show notes and a whole lot of other awesome freebies, visit feelgoodsocial.com. Simply go to feelgoodsocial.com for all the goods.